How would DFW do in like a total civil unrest situation against the rest of the country?
I'm not afraid for a second.
We're gonna get into it, and we will find a real estate spin on this, folks. You are listening to DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. We're gonna get into all things fall market, what's happening with interest rates, and what you should be doing. I might even whisper a little bit. Ian, you know what happens when I whisper? There's like insider information,
Secret stuff.
like we're just talking to our people.
Yep.
We got some behind the curtain, under the hood. You
also got to give it a little bit of something like this.
Yeah, you mumble a little bit. Like I got all.
God, y'all are making me nervous in here.
Got some strategy, but I'm not telling you everything. I'll only tell you. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about some incredible strategy to take advantage of what's left of the 2024 market. The best case scenario for sellers and buyers. That means if you're selling and buying, we've got some scoop for you on how to truly take full advantage of this market. We'll get into that and everything else as we make our way through the show. The everything else part is whatever you want. If you have questions or comments about your real estate, whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just enjoying what you've got, give us a call, 214-310-0008, or feel free to text us right now, 214-310-0008. I challenge you right now, if you've never called or texted the show before, if you have a real estate question at all, why would you not have an answer to that when we would be honored to help you with that? You could text right now any real estate question you've got, 214-310-0008, or find us online all day, every day, anytime at
TheTremontiTeam.com.
As always, this first segment is brought to you by Patrick Glaros and his entire team over at Cardinal Financial. If you are looking to get a mortgage, refinance, you have questions about the mortgage industry, just what the heck is going on, Patrick and his team is a great place to start. You can go to patrickglaros.com. You can start an application directly on his website. I've used Patrick. It's the only person that Todd's ever used.
ever.
patrickglaros.com is where you're going to go. NMLS number 308804.
Do it. patrickglaros.com. That's where I go. That's where you should go. All right, folks. There's a meme or a GIF or GIF, if you're into that sort of thing. Mostly it's just a picture floating around the internets. Every single one of the internets, I think, has seen this. There's a couple of different headers on it, but basically you've got a map of the United States, and you've got regions on it. So you've got southeast, northeast, kind of north central, what a lot of people would call the Midwest. But really, in this map, it's north central, northwest, southwest. Okay, and the title I see on this, Courtney, is Hunger Games Districts Announced. Okay, Hunger Games Districts Announced. And if you've never read the books, The Hunger Games, or watched the movies, The Hunger Games, it's kind of a horrible observation of humanity and kind of this like pitting people against each other deal. So this
Pretty entertaining, though.
It is entertaining. It's a tiny bit awkward and creepy, but it's about like people having to kind of fight each other for survival against their own will.
But it's game.
It's a game. This is a bit of a joke, this image going around, but basically what it's saying is like what region of the United States would be the last one standing if these regions had to do battle. Now, I will say the reason we thought this was a bit humorous, is we feel like our region would absolutely dominate the rest of our country. We'll get into that in a second.
Shocking that a Texan would say that, though.
Yeah, it's also entirely factually accurate. But the point is, we often have these real estate battles of like, why are people leaving this one region and moving to this region? Or why are people leaving that state and moving to this state? Or leaving that city to come to this city? Or leaving our city to go to that city? Or, different weather, different jobs, all the things. So we're kind of having this conversation, not necessarily about like life or death battles, of course, but more about like, what's the better place to live? Why are so many people preferring this over that? So from a real estate perspective, we thought this was kind of funny.
I have a question about that.
Yep.
So we live in Texas. I'm obviously not a Texan.
Obviously.
But Texans are very confident about Texas.
Proud.
Fair, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you think that this map is circulating in places like Maine or Rhode Island?
No.
And they're having this same
Great point.
We will just destroy.
No. So it's funny that you say that, because you remember the time, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, it was like a 3-week thing. It was like, if you didn't live in Texas, where would you live? And we all had such a hard time answering it. And my answer was Maine. And then, Maine was my number one answer, and then Colorado was like 1A. And there were reasons that those are all distant to Texas, but I love those places. So this isn't about like hating other places. Really, this is just a joke about like where the toughest, hardiest people are. So because of that, I think specifically Maine is probably like, if you was just Maine, we feel pretty confident. Now there's like 13 people in Maine compared to Texas. So there's parts of this that aren't like apples to apples for sure. But Maine gets lumped in with the entire Northeast, right? You've got some hardy stock up there, but you also have some wildly underpopulated areas of people that tend to, fuss about a lot and not necessarily have a background of like being able to grow their own food or fight if they had to.
Now you do have the New Yorkers up there, so they're going to be confident.
The confident, yes, angry quite often, but not nearly as well armed as Texas or Mississippi or Arkansas or Oklahoma or Louisiana. The Southeast is absolute, like, how? Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky. Now, we kind of got, I think Kentucky is above the line, but we pulled them into the Southeast for this. Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Sidebar, just as you're naming all these places, have you seen the new movie Twisters?
I have not yet seen the movie Twisters.
I saw it this weekend.
I want to see it. I remember seeing the original in high school. It's a long story I'm not going to tell here, but
love the original one.
Part of it is that we were late to the movie. We were at the big theater in our area, and I had to sit on the front row.
Oh, dang.
Where you have to like pan your whole body to see the sides of the screen. It was so intense.
So sidebar on that, Courtney, I watched it in the theater, and I've since bought it on the...
Oh.
Because it's on like...
You just want to watch Glenn Powell.
I've seen it 2 more times.
He's terribly cute.
Moving on.
That's why I went.
No judgment, whatever you got to do. Here's the thing. The joke, to your point, Ian, no, I don't think the people of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico are like, oh my gosh, those stupid Southeasterners don't stand a chance. I think maybe Colorado and New Mexico are like, we'd be all right, but, the rest, we got to take the whole region and we got to go up against the Southeast. This is not looking good. Now, the Northwest, you got Montana, Wyoming, Alaska. Like, that sounds legit.
Yeah, but the population is sparse.
But there's like 1,100 of them.
Right.
Like, they're like, I've farmed and ranched my whole life. Yeah,
right.
You and your 4,000 acres, and there's only 2 other people. So this is where it's not.
And we are happy for you.
I'm not saying it's fair.
You're not going to win.
I'm just saying we win. That's like, if you live in the area and you can hear me right now and you're from another area, I'm not saying where you're from is terrible. I'm just saying they lose in this thing. If it came down to it, they lose. Now, for the real estate piece of this, it also so happens that we win in that battle also. Like the rest of the country is moving here. Florida, Texas. Now, Arizona, the Southwest is doing okay, but if you're including all the way to California and Nevada, you're seeing a big-time exodus to Arizona, Texas, Florida, and the Southeast is just dominating. The Northeast is moving south. The West is moving south. The Northwest is moving all over. And then kind of the central north is holding firm in many ways, but also moving a bit south. So that doesn't mean nobody leaves here. It just means the Southeast would probably win in both of those regional battles, real estate and the old terrifying Hunger Games scenario. Hey, folks, you are in fact listening to DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti, and we did find a loose real estate connection there, but it's real. Follow our YouTube channel, follow the podcast. We get lots and lots of questions about why people are moving here from other states, and we get lots of questions from folks in other states as to what it will look like for them to move here. And obviously many of them are and have. If you have questions about your real estate in or moving to or moving from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, reach out and give us a call, 214-310-0008, where we guarantee to sell your house over the average price and under the average time. Right now, we're averaging a little more than 7% over the average price and a little bit more than 12 days under the average time. That's over the average price and under the average time, and we guarantee that. Call us and we can tell you all about it. 214-310-0008 or online at
TheTremontiTeam.com.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now. We had, all the NAR stuff has gone into effect as of the 17th. So that's been interesting, seeing a lot of Facebook posts from people, the industry's changed forever and you can no longer see a house without signing a thing. And we're like, yes.
This commission is gone forever.
All right, so then we've got the election coming up. We've got mortgage rates that have come down. Are they going to continue to come down? So,
I'm just comforted by all the certainty in our world right now. That's where you're going?
Yeah, that's it.
Period.
Not the nervousness of everything. That's
terror, anxiety, fear.
So with all of that being said, with all of the uncertainty, all of the changes, all of the things that we don't know, why should people have confidence?
And now, this.
Okay, well, after all of that massive uncertainty, let's just put a bow on it right here on this here radio show. The certainty that you can have amidst all of the massive uncertainty is that right now, if you are selling and buying a home, you are entering the greatest season of the year for you to do that. I also think the timing of mortgage rates, home values, buyer sentiment, consumer confidence, overall economic outlook would tell you that right now is a really smart strategic time to sell and buy. Right now, if you pay very close attention to this show, as some of you do, we know we have many loyal listeners that text and email and call in and let us know that you're listening to us. And when we mess up, you let us know that too. You know that we have an overarching belief that if you are acquiring real estate in North Texas, it is almost always a good time to acquire more real estate. Now, there are better seasons when rates are super low or when prices are a little bit soft or there's less competition. So we're very clear about that. And what I'm telling you is that for the entirety of my adult life, for the entirety of my real estate career, I have said that I believe the fall and early winter is the best time if you are selling and buying. That is when my wife and I have always, every single time, sold our previous home, bought our new home. Sometimes we bought and remodeled and moved in a little bit later, but we acquired that property and sold our previous property during the fall or very early winter months. Now, why is that? What is the certainty that can be found in that? To your point, Ian, of like, where is there certainty in all this uncertainty? The certainty we have right now is that interest rates are okay. They have been better and they've certainly been worse. So they're okay. They're manageable for some people. They're not manageable for others, but they're okay. Home values, while generally on the rise, are rising much slower than they were for, the post-COVID run-up. There is a significant anticipation that mortgage rates will come down further if the Federal Reserve lowers rates in September, which they've indicated they are more likely to do than previous. Now, we don't know if they will, and there's no reason to try to be certain about that. But what we are certain of is that right now today, if you are selling and buying, we will guarantee you that we can sell your house over the average price, meaning we'll sell your house for more than the average of all the other homes selling in the area right now, like yours in the same area at the same time, and we'll sell it faster than the others. The certainty we have is that the uncertainty of this market creates strategies that work, and they're working day in and day out to help you sell on the high end, probably the highest price that home has ever sold for, and purchase at a fair or better deal. We had another contract come in today, $12,000 under what we believe the current fair market value to be, with some seller concessions for our buyer. We're also seeing sellers sell for at or above what we believe to be full market value. Right now, 7% over most of the time for our clients. So there is certainty in what we know today. There is no certainty about what lies ahead. The fall typically helps sellers sell to eager buyers and smart buyers buy from lower confident sellers that are afraid they've missed the spring and summer market.
I like your answer. Can I interest you in some stats?
I would love some statistical
Maybe a
support.
little backup for you here. Okay, of the past 8 presidential elections, that's a lot of years because there's one about every 4 years or so.
Approximately, specifically.
Knowledge is right. Only one of those years did we see home prices actually come down. And that was in 2008 when we saw the financial market crash.
Yeah, there were some other factors there that year.
A little bit. So what do I take away from that? Home prices not going to go down. All right. Only in 1980 to 81 and in 88 to 89, after big periods of inflation, did we see home sales go down.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, it's neither 1980 or 81, and it's not 1988 or 89. It's 2024. So what do I take away from that? Home sales are not going to go down.
So statistically speaking, values would continue to rise and the quantity of sales would continue to slowly pick up.
Just playing the stats.
Now, I just said there is no certainty of the future. Now, we have strong indications. We have cycles. We have patterns. We have data. We have strong, what I would call an inference, an educated guess, a really well-informed professional opinion of what is likely to come. And all that data points towards continuing to rise prices and continuing to pick up market activity. What we know is that every single year I've been in the business since 2001, licensed since 2003, broker since 2005, every year we have seen the opportunity in the fall and early winter market be excellent for folks that are selling and buying.
Stats very rarely lie, is what I would say. And you know what? If it's red on roulette for 8 times in a row, odds are it's going to be black next.
Statistically, that is correct. Now, I think roulette might be the worst thing to spend any money on in the whole planet Earth, but this is not a gambling show. This is about real estate, and we don't want you to gamble with your real estate. We want you to make wise choices. We want you to make the choices that are best for you and your family and your finances. So if you are thinking about selling the home you're in and buying another one, whether it's bigger or smaller, in a different neighborhood, it has different features. If you're thinking about selling and buying, we believe you should, at minimum, take advantage of a free strategy session to look at the strategies that we use for our clients during the fall and early winter months. You can have a completely free, no obligation required, no cost to you strategy session, free strategy session with one of our full-time dedicated experts, 30 to 90 minutes face-to-face in our Fort Worth office or our Richardson office, or face-to-face over a Zoom, and find out what the strategies are, what your timing is, what your needs are, what makes sense for you to potentially take advantage of what we think one of the best counterintuitive strategies of every single calendar year, especially this one with where the market is right now, to win big while selling and buying. Take advantage of this. No charge, no obligation, free strategy session. Call or text 214-310-0008. You can just text the word strategy and we'll follow up. 214-310-0008. Or, of course, you can just go online to
ToddTremoneyTeam.com.
ToddTremoneyTeam.com.
You know, I like how you tied all of that together, Todd. You know something else that folks should do?
What? What else should they
They
do?
should reach out to DP Lambert and his team at Goosehead Insurance, because not just one reason, but 2 reasons. They should check on their home insurance and their auto insurance. Did you know that?
I knew that was a good thing, yeah.
Did you know that if you do that, history would tell us, because it's happened to me a lot.
And me.
And you, and so many of our friends, family members, co-workers, clients. He has saved us so much money over the years. Like thousands of dollars over the years.
Increase coverage.
Yep.
Like more than once, he's made me aware of a need I have for coverage that I didn't previously have.
Yep.
And allowed me to add that coverage without increasing my cost.
Yeah, he just gives good advice and gives us the absolute best savings we can get with the best coverage. dp.lambert@goosehead.com is his email. dp.lambert, L-A-M-B-E-R-T, dp.lambert@goosehead.com. 214-614-8595. Go to ToddTremoneyTeam.com, click on the radio tab, and you can find all the recommended pros and vendors right there.
Courtney, quick true or false question for you here. True or false, people are generally overwhelmed right now?
Todd, honest to God, I was about to say the same thing.
Just a true or
We'll
false.
say what you were going to say then.
True or false, though.
I was going to
Not
say
sure you know
that.
how true or false works.
It's very true. I'm feeling quite overwhelmed.
The amount of overwhelm in the world right now, not specific to real estate, just on everything, is very real. It's unsustainable, and it's creating, in my opinion, a massive health concern for our country.
We are pushed to the max.
So put that on the side for just 1 second. And let me tell you this, that I literally pray for you, and I want your home, whatever it is, apartment, townhome, house, trailer, condo, whatever. I want your home to be a place of calm and of rest and of peace, a place that you cultivate marriage and parenting and family and friendships and hosting and, rest and recovery and, those occasions where it's appropriate to just go hide from the world and recover, right? I want your home to be able to be all those things. Home is not just a thing on a spreadsheet. It's not just an investment. It is the place that you cultivate the life you want to live, that you feel called to live, that you feel passionate about living. And I want you to get home right. I don't want the overwhelm of politicians and economists and businesses and banks and news talking people, all the things, to beat you down and keep you from home. So if you have a desire to change your home situation, this is me giving you permission to have the conversation. This is not me manipulating you to actually go buy or sell. This is me giving you permission. This is me telling you it would be wise to gather information, to have a higher level of certainty amidst all the overwhelming anxiety and confusion and lack of clarity that our world gives us right now. To take advantage of a completely free, genuinely service-oriented offer. To have a 30 to 90-minute conversation with a full-time professional dedicated to serving your needs around real estate and find out if now really is a wise time for you to sell and buy or just sell or to rent or to invest or to speculate a little bit. We feel like we have been gifted. We have recruited and trained and hired people who are also gifted. We feel that it's part of our calling. It's not only our business, but our ministry to serve our community and the people around us by helping them make really great real estate decisions. Are we perfect? No, but I am really proud of the team we have and the track record we have of excellence. Not just, quote, being a realtor, but doing this full-time and dedicating to driving really incredible value in the lives of our friends, our neighbors, and our family. We would love to be of service to you. We believe that your best, smartest, most responsible next step, if you would really deep down like to, love to, want to make a move, is to have that conversation. Doesn't mean you have to do anything, commit to anything, spend anything. Doesn't mean you need to make that move right now. But take advantage of that free strategy session. 214-310-0008. You can call us right now. There's a good chance you get to talk to the English wonder himself, the Yanni Donnie.
Hello.
There's also a great chance that if you're not quite ready to talk and you just text us, we can text until it's time to do that. 214-310-0008, or you can go online to toddtremonteteam.com. Courtney.
What if someone wants to talk to me?
If they would like to talk to you, it's important that they know that you don't have a real estate license, but you are a delight to spend time with.
Thank you, Todd.
Now, you said it's true that people are overwhelmed. I'm going to risk this. What I just said is a genuine attempt to alleviate, at least in the world of real estate, that overwhelming anxiety. Do you feel like that's a good starting place for people that they're like, I want to buy or sell, but I feel like everyone's telling me that this is a bad time or this is a good time or this is a stupid time or this one says that and that person says that and I don't know who's right and I don't want to make a big mistake?
I will say when I feel this way and I spend time with an expert, that stress is alleviated.
That's the goal. It's not even to get you to do something.
Yes.
It's to help alleviate that stress.
And understand.
At least in this category of your life, because there's a lot going on. So you can sleep a little bit better, you can walk a little bit taller, and you can know that you have a 4-year plan or a 3-year plan or a 2-week plan, whatever it is. 214-310-0008 or toddtremonteteam.com. Welcome back, party people. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us through the break. I want to make sure it's worth it. So we have got this generous free offer for you of a free strategy session to just simply discuss any of your real estate needs whatsoever at no charge. If you're into Zoom, you can just do that on Zoom. Otherwise, you can pop into our Richardson office or our Fort Worth office and sit down with one of our full-time, fully dedicated, that's not normal, by the way, full-time, fully dedicated real estate professionals that focus on selling or buying. You might even sit down with a selling expert and a buying expert and have a conversation about your real estate future. We were discussing before we went to the break that there are many, 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 many people out there that are overwhelmed right now, but deep down they would like to buy or sell. You've been wanting to move for a while. You've been dreaming about that house in a new school district or a bigger lot or another bedroom or some living space or some different situation. But the world, the complexity, the anxiety of the economy, the stock market, the mortgage rates, your friends, your neighbors, your parents, whoever, has kind of led you to believe that there might be a reason you shouldn't do that. And they may be right, by the way, but often they're not. And so we are inviting you, we are encouraging, honestly, we're sort of telling you that it would be unwise not to have the conversation now and determine. Maybe that is correct. Maybe you have the conversation. Courtney, maybe somebody's like, I do want to buy. And I've wanted to buy for 2 years and I can afford it. But people keep telling me it's a bad time, so I'm not doing it. But it's been 2 years and I wish I had done it. Maybe that person sits down and meets with us, free strategy session, and they do find out, you know what, it's best that you haven't and we should wait a little bit longer. How do you think that feels to somebody?
Oh my gosh, just hearing you say that, I'm like, what a gift.
That's still okay,
yes,
right?
Yes.
It's still okay to be like, I've wanted to and I haven't, and now I just found out that was actually the right choice.
Yes.
And I need to wait some more, but now I can confidently wait with expert
and a strategy
advice on top of the feelings and the anxieties, right? Yes. How about you've been wanting to buy or sell for 2 years, and the world and your friends and your family and all these people have kind of got you caught up in the anxiety and fear and confusion of it all. And then you sat down with somebody and you found out, no, actually waiting is costing you, and you could have what you want and do it responsibly, in the next 3 to 6 weeks. What do you think that feels like?
Also great.
Like a giant gift.
Yes.
So oh my gosh, wait, I want it and I felt like I shouldn't have it, but you're telling me I could responsibly have that, and it could be the best decision for my family and my finances and my hopes and dreams. Both scenarios are possible, folks. The outcome might be, nope, now's not the best time. And the outcome might be, now's the best time to stop waiting. And everything in between, right? Hey, let's 3-month strategy, 6-month strategy, 2-year strategy, 20-year strategy. Whatever the case is, don't you want to know? Don't you want the clarity amidst all the confusion and overwhelm and anxiety of our world? At least this little piece of your pie called real estate, we would be honored to give you the gift of some more clarity and certainty there. And you can have that at no cost and no obligation with a simple free strategy session. You can text the word strategy right now to 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008. Just text the word strategy or call and we can have a chat. Or you're welcome to just go to the website, toddtremonteteam.com, or just Google Todd Tremonti. Click any button, fill out any form, call any phone number. We'll get you connected with a full-time, that's not normal in real estate. Our agents are all full-time, fully committed, and they specialize in either sellers or buyers. And if you need both, you get 2 people, twice the eyeballs and attention and expertise and energy and focus, plus our full staff. 214-310-0008 or toddtremonteteam.com. Just the idea of clarity and certainty feels really, really good right now, right?
Yes, because things feel really chaotic. I feel really overwhelmed. And
so does everyone else.
If you can carry that burden for me.
That's our job, by the way. That's what a real estate professional should do. It doesn't mean they can manage all your emotions and your life things, but it means in the area of real estate, you shouldn't be bringing someone in to just sort of kind of help or just open the door or just fill out paperwork, especially since all of the changes and regulations in the world of real estate that went into place last week. You need to have someone that can lead you and guide you and advocate for you. And yes, take on some of those burdens and create more clarity, more confidence.
Yeah, outside of the clickbait that you're being fed.
Right.
Because the headlines just want they want the drama of what is happening with the NAR.
And many of them are factually inaccurate and absolutely unethical, including things the President of the United States has said. I just mean literally they are not accurate. They do not represent what the case law and the national, state, and local regulations have been amended to. The headlines say this commission percentage is gone. That's the opposite of what it says. What the new regulation says is we need to be more and more and more clear that all commissions are negotiable, which we've been abundantly clear about for 20-something years. But a lot of agents have just sort of in their part-timeness, in their act like everybody else-ness, have just sort of charged what they've heard everyone else is charging, which is a dumb way to do business. And in some situations is potentially unethical. I think it's more lazy. More often than not, it's lazy as opposed to like deliberate price fixing. I think it's just sort of like people average down to what everyone else is doing. A lot of that is changing, but it's not changing what people charge. It's changing how people charge, how it's documented, how it's expected to be communicated. I believe you're going to see just as much variety in real estate agent and brokerage options, and more variety in pricing structures. And some people will charge commissions, some people will charge flat fees, some people will charge upfront retainers, some people will get paid at closing, some people will charge payment plans, some people will charge for just parts of the process, some will charge for the whole thing. We will continue to be a full service, premium, get you a massive return on your investment so that the cost is much lower, but our fees will not be the lowest. But your return on the investment in us will get you more money as a seller, less stress, more house for your dollar as a buyer, less stress, less drama. We will lead and guide and advocate for you through that process. And if that's what you're looking for, whether it's today, tomorrow, 6 months, or 2 years from now, take advantage of that free strategy session right now. 214-310-0008 or online at toddtremonteteam.com. Now, we always say the same thing, and Ian and I even say it very similarly. We say the first segment is always brought to you by the Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team. What we mean is Patrick Glaros is a sponsor of this show. He's a sponsor of this show because we trust him anyway. I've used him long before this show existed. Patrick Glaros is the mortgage lender that when I genuinely, as an expert in this field, have a question, I call Patrick and I go, hey, I'm hearing this, I'm reading that. What does it mean? What do you think is going to happen with rates? What should we be telling our buyers right now? Should we be locking in rates now, even if we're not buying for 60 days? You know, is an adjustable rate mortgage a good or bad idea right now? Hey, what do you think about some of these 15 and 20-year notes? Do you think a 10-year mortgage might become more popular? These are the types of conversations I have with Patrick because he is my expert. Do whatever you feel is wise. I'm telling you, you'll do well to trust Patrick and his team. You can go to patrickglaros.com, Glaros, for any of your mortgage needs, whether it's refinancing, purchasing your home, purchasing an investment property, or really just thinking about your mortgage as part of your overall financial and wealth building plan. patrickglaros.com, Glaros, NMLS number 308804. Now, we have some questions and some topics that we want to cover, Courtney, so if there's one that's on the tip of your tongue right now, go ahead and volley it to me. But if folks have questions, just call or text your question about your real estate right now, 214-310-0008.
Well, I was just thinking about like hearing from you about why you're excited about homes on land in the fall and why people need to be like.
First of all, the fall is the best time in Texas, especially North Texas. Yeah. If you disagree with me, I respect you. We just can't be the best kind of friends because up until now, all of my recent memory, I don't remember anything before the sun reached out and scorched the earth, right? Like the summer is too real. Bad. It's too upon us. I'm always warm anyway. I'm just burning all the time right now.
You do wear jeans all the time.
It doesn't matter though. It's just too hot. The reality is this. There are benefits to summer. I love the freedom that comes with kids at home and all that. I absolutely love my kids. I love being around them. I love schools being out and all that. But the reality is it's too hot, okay? Now, it is what it is.
Sure.
Summer here is 5 months. That's just our life. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. It's coming. Fall is coming. And you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
And the mornings right now are maybe the only tolerable time to be outside for more than 25 seconds if you're not in a body of water. Now, fall mornings, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you're into on the patio.
It literally makes me get up earlier because I want to enjoy it longer.
This time of year right now, I'm outside as little as humanly possible. The fall hits, I live out there. I'm outside as much as possible. One thing my wife always says is, like, everyone knows where to find Todd on Sunday. We go to church, I don't even go inside after church. The problem is I get my nice boots dirty because I don't even want to go inside and change my boots. I just go straight from the car. Everyone else goes inside or some of them go inside. I go outside and then I come in when I have to, like a child. like a little kid that's like
Like, are you working in the garden? You're sitting on your
garden,
patio? What are you
orchard,
doing?
patio,
You're moving through it.
greenhouse.
You're grilling.
Moving things around. Yes, that's the time of year I grill the absolute most. If you want something grilled, I'll grill it all day, every day. I want to be out there. So the reality is that's coming. People are more pleasant because it's not miserable. You're not sweating just to get from the car inside the building. I'm not saying summer's terrible. I'm just saying I love fall, and fall is coming. And with that comes, it's easier to get out and look at houses. It's more fun to be outside. I'd rather go to a barbecue in the fall than in the summer, all day, every day, no matter what. I'd rather go to a sporting event outside in the fall than in the summer. I would rather literally walk anywhere in the fall than in the summer. It's coming, and it's exciting, and I'm really fired up about it. Now, second summer comes before first fall, and don't ever dare think for a second that summer's over. The fall real estate market is here. The summer real estate market is over, but the heat and the brutality of the season is still upon us. Now, if you are a patio person, if you're a deck person, if you're a sport court person, I want you to reach out to goodgaragefloors.com and our friends over there, because the summer's probably done a number on all your surfaces, and you might be thinking about a cleanup, a polish up, a resurfacing, an upgrade, an increasing of value, or an increasing in utility. We turned a big, funky, cracked up concrete pad in our backyard into a really cool sport court, pickleball court situation. We turned our garage floor, which was just kind of boring and always dusty, into a very clean and great looking space because of goodgaragefloors.com. They just came out and basically told us what the best options were. We followed their lead. It worked out really well, and you can too. Go to goodgaragefloors.com, where they can help you transform your old flooring, whether it's garage, pool deck, patio, residential or commercial, by the way, your basketball court, your driveway, whatever it is, or potentially something very, very new. Transform the old, freshen it up, or take care of your new stuff. Goodgaragefloors.com. They're great. They know exactly what they're doing. Tons of options. Do what I did. Reach out to goodgaragefloors.com. Now, the fall is coming. It's when my wife and I always do our buying and selling of real estate. If you are both selling and buying, this is when I whisper a little bit, because I'm like, hey, come here. I got a secret for you. Other people don't seem to understand this. They all think spring and summer is the best time, and it's a fine time. It's not a bad time. But if you're selling and you're buying, just hear me out real quick. We're going to buy a house from a seller that is upset that they have missed the spring and summer, because that's how everybody else thinks. And they're going to give us a better price. And they're going to fix more things that we asked them to fix. And they're going to give us a little bit more time to think about some stuff. And then when we sell, we're not going to believe that lie that spring and summer was the only time. We're going to sell to an eager buyer that wants to buy before the holidays, that wants to buy before the end of the calendar year or the tax year, or that just happens to have the ability to buy and wants to buy right now. And we're not going to have to deal with all the wannabe tire kickers that go to open houses and see houses and can't make offers. So we get to sell to an eager buyer and buy from a low confidence seller, and do it all when the weather's nice. And honestly, we might move all of our actual stuff while the kids are at school. What's wrong with that strategy? Nothing. It's a great strategy. Mm-hmm. Go to ToddTremontiTeam.com. This will just be our secret. Don't tell everybody else. They're following the stereotypes. They're doing the same thing as everyone else. We're going to get better results. ToddTremontiTeam.com. Okay, back to our regular program.
Stump Todd segment. Got a word for you.
Oh boy.
What?
And today's word is sandal.
Okay, gosh. I don't think we've ever talked about this, but have you ever seen me wear any form of sandal ever?
Honestly, and the thought makes me want to panic.
Right? There's people that sandals are for flip-flops. People used to call them thongs. That's a different thing now. But I'm not one of those people, okay? So here's...
Why?
I'm just not. You know it. You just said the thought of it makes it weird.
But you've made me feel that way.
Sure, maybe so, because of the way I was designed and fearfully and wonderfully made. But here's the thing. Sandals are fine for some people, and for some of us, they're not. And the decision making that is needed to know which one you are is important. And we're going to
self-awareness.
We're going to call that discernment, okay?
Sandal discernment.
Because of the amount of the anxiety and overwhelm and complexity that we've been talking about, sandals equal discernment now, right? Like you got to know, do I wear flip-flops to the office? The answer is no. You don't do that. Closed-toe shoes required. All dangerous places and grown-up places, okay? Now, if you are a surfing instructor, feel free. That's fine. If you're a lifeguard, that might even be okay. But in general adulthood, during the day, during the work day, that's not what we're doing. Discernment, though, is the magic word that sandals leads us to. And discernment is potentially one of the greatest skill sets in 2024 America. And unfortunately, it's lacking. Courtney, I don't know if you knew this, but there are people just roaming free out there with little to no discernment, making lots and lots of poor choices that not only harm themselves, but lead to consequences for the rest of us.
People are wild.
And so let me just say this. Enjoy your sandals wisely. Be discerning about when and where and which ones to wear. And then extend that sandal discernment.
This is good.
To many other areas of your life. Relationship decisions, financial decisions, real estate decisions, dating decisions.
Yeah, I've been reminded
Health
to invite
decisions.
God back into these things.
Discernment.
I don't know who
folks.
needs to hear that today.
Sandals equals discernment.
When did you realize that you shouldn't wear shorts so much?
You know, shorts are not quite as extreme as sandals in my world. I will.
You rarely wear them.
I'm a pants guy.
You're a pants guy.
And I'm one of those people that doesn't need to change 4 times a day. You know, you're like, oh, I just got home from work. Let me get out of Nope.
That's true. You do transition from Bible study to work to
Comfortable
coaching.
in my skin and my jeans. You know, I'm good. I don't need to adjust to the scenario. I am who I am in all places.
And you're like down to sweat. Well, I mean,
I'm pretty much always hot.
Okay.
You know, but the point in all of this is discernment. Sandals equals discernment. Shorts equal discernment. Yeah. I say, listen, enjoy your freedom. God bless America and your ability to wear sandals and shorts, have a mullet, whatever you're into. Okay, but let's be discerning. Let's make wise choices. Let's stop and consider the consequences of our actions. Thanks, Mom.
Do you have any real estate stump me thoughts?
Listen, in the category of Courtney Learns Real Estate,
I've been doing good.
I would like to ask you what the conventional wisdom around seasonality is in real estate. And I'll ask it more directly.
Okay.
What do most people think about the month of September when it comes to buyer and seller activity?
I think most people think like nothing's happening.
Yep.
Their attention is elsewhere. It's back to school. It's just kind of chaotic getting your life. It's the new year in a lot of ways. And so it's like 0.0 attention, which as I have learned is an advantage for you. You know what I was just thinking about this segment? I think it is a testament to if you will regularly spend an hour of your life learning something. Look how I have grown.
Look at it.
We've been here for 2 years.
Look at you.
Slow and steady. I feel changed.
But jokes aside, basically, if you spend an hour a week with us, or you check out the podcast wherever you get podcasts, DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti, really long title, so it's easy for you to search for. You're going to alleviate your fears and anxieties, and not everywhere, but in most of your real estate. And by the way, you're also going to find yourself with a renewed confidence and the ability to achieve your dreams and be more discerning when it comes to your real estate. And that is our gift to you. And we don't expect anything in return. Obviously, we would love the opportunity to earn your business when you go to buy and sell and invest in real estate. And of course, we would greatly appreciate your introduction and your referral to your coworkers, your friends, folks you go to church with or play softball with or live near and hang out with. We would love it if you said, no, these people are different. They genuinely care. They're experts at what they do. You should call them. Give them the website, toddtremontiteam.com. But if you don't, we're going to feel really good about what we're doing. If you listen to us and you go away with a renewed confidence, a lower level of confusion and anxiety and fear and frustration, and a greater level of confidence in your choices around your real estate and the ways that those impact your life. And yes, if you hang out with us behind the camera and the microphone, by all means, you're hearing every word of this. You should be growing and learning. But if you're catching us once or twice a month, I hope the same is true for you, that you are growing in confidence and clarity about what's really true in our market and where the bias is in certain media and certain voices and certain industry participants that want you to do a certain thing. I want you to do what's best for you and your family and your finances. And if that means it's time to buy, let's help you buy. If that means it's time to sell, let's help you sell. If that means you should be investing in your second, third, fourth, fifth property, we can help you do that. If that means you want a cash offer for your property and walk away tomorrow, we can help you with that as well. You can do all that at toddtramonti.com. But if it also means we spent 30 to 90 minutes together and you got some great info and you can sleep better and you're not going to buy or sell anything for 10 more years, we're going to feel really great about using our God-given gifts to give you that clarity and that better sleep at night. So if we can help you with any of those things, call or text 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008, or you can go online to toddtramontiteam.com. But let me just say this one more time. You cannot start a conversation about your real estate too early, but most people wait way too late. And if you wait too late, you lose out on opportunity and you put yourself in the position to have to make impulsive decisions that will cost you and your family and your finances. You cannot start that conversation too soon. Most people start it too late. You can start yours right now at toddtramontiteam.com, 214-310-0008.